Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hey, we're going to do things a little bit differently tonight. I'm going to save the most important announcements about the auction for the ends. So right now, let me just give a reminder, everybody out there for Mom's Group tomorrow morning. Would love to see you ladies join us tomorrow morning. We have a 1-hour coffee every Wednesday. Join us tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. But I'm going to save everything else for the ends. Now, if you're new tonight, let me introduce you to our very own Kyle Munkers over here and the basement crew here. He is a manager over at Rebuild Recovery, and he also brings us our comedy every week. So he starts us out with some laughs. So, can we hear you, Kyle?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Take it away, Kyle. We have a couple new people here tonight. So this is Mr.
Sound
Kyle
good,
Munkers.
right?
I think so.
Okay. All right. How do you make a tissue dance? You put a little boogie in it. I had to calm down this week. What do you call it? What's a fish with no eyes? So we all know that T-Rex is short. What T-Rex is short for? But do you know what T-shirt is short for? Tyrannosaurus shirt. Gibson special ed. Kind of embarrassing, but there's this same candy shop that I'm always compelled to steal from. Last time I was in there, the owner of the shop came to me and said, I notice that when you're in here, my candy bars always go disappearing. I said, well, I'm no magician, but I do have a couple Twix up my sleeve. Scott had his truck lifted up. He was fixing the flat tire. He fell on his foot. He had to get a tow. I was talking to my North Korean friend online the other day, and I said, hey, how you doing? He goes, I can't complain. You can't do stuff in North Korea. Online dating has taught me two things: geography and disappointment. Ants can't get COVID because they have antibodies. I've had this long obsession with Bruce Willis movies, as they say, old habits, Armageddon. Hi, Barkley. Jeff and I were watching the Seahawks game yesterday, and as we were watching, we looked down and we saw Barkley there just being a dog, licking his nuts. He's a dog. Jeff turned to me and said, Kyle, this is good. Sounds kind of weird, but I wish I could do that. I said, well, you should at least wait till he's asleep because he'll probably bite you. Okay.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. All right. So, Art, we have a couple new people out there. I see Michael. We haven't met Michael yet. We've also got Elizabeth Hagan, who's an old friend of ours. We haven't seen in a long time, and I do believe Kelly's with her, maybe. Their camera's not on, so we can't see them, but wanted to do a shout out. Hi, ladies. And then we've got Kim Simpson, I see, also no camera on, but hey, we'd love to get an opportunity to meet you tonight. So if you're new tonight, we'll give an opportunity to say hi a little bit later and introduce ourselves to you guys, and welcome everybody else. And we'll let Art just take it away.
How's it sound?
Good.
This week I've first of all, when everyone comes here, kind of the first thing that we want people to do is the first kind of move towards recovery is when a human being kind of starts, in a family or a human being or someone starts to be able to look at themselves. And we saw a video today, and it was said in the perfect way. The guy said that when a human being starts to turn and face his own mind, and kind of a beautiful way to say recovery is when start of recovery is when a human being begins to turn and face up to his own mind. And that being said, when somebody begins to examine themselves and investigate themselves, one thing that'll come about, and I've never really been a fan of people that say you got to forgive yourself or you got to love yourself. I've never really understood the practicality of it. I've never really understood how exactly I would go about forgiving myself, or how I really never. Pretty much you could be hard on yourself. But this week was about, I think one of the themes of this week has been people make mistakes. I've made mistakes this week. Things that I just kind of wish would have went differently. Things that I wish I would have done better or nicer, or things I would have said to people cooler or different. Maybe people didn't like how I came across, or whatever it is, but mistakes were made. Maybe. So I'd like to talk about the exact process of how that goes down. And the first thing I want to say, that in our life, I want you to I think it's noteworthy that at the best times in our life and the worst times of our life, we're not there. And what I mean by that is, you aren't there at the best times of your life, and you aren't there at the worst times of your life. These kind of, think of it like a tennis volley. You're playing tennis. You get involved in that volley. Boom, boom, boom. You're not there. And then all of a sudden there's a mistake. Maybe the ball goes out of bounds, and then you show back up. Kind of works that way with drugs. When you're doing drugs, you aren't there. And you wake up from using drugs and you show back up in that very moment where you meet yourself again. And it's like a waking up to yourself after this drug use or after this mistake. And imagine a tennis player, boom, 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 just totally present. There's nothing but the racket and the arm. And then the ball goes out of bounds. And at that very moment, I want you to note the process of how you show back up. And the way you show back up is like an assessment. You show back up like a judge. Oh, I should have. Why did I make that mistake? How come I did it like that? What was I thinking? Why did it go like that? How come I hit it like that? But when we're doing the very best as a human being, we're not there. There is no thinking. There is no me watching myself. It's just me doing at the very best time. Now, this is also true for the very worst times. You'll notice that when we get to hold on, Barkley. Barkley's getting situated. Thank you, buddy. So you'll note this kind of process. As you begin to watch yourself, I want you to note, kind of look at how it goes. How in these easy times, in these very not living times, these very slow times, there's kind of this separation where you can kind of separate from your thoughts, and you can watch your thoughts, and you can just kind of prepare for things, and you can maybe analyze something you did yesterday or whatever it is. But there's just this time where there's separation. And then you do the thing. Now, whatever that thing is, whatever the thing that you're doing is, your work that you're into, your conversation with the person that you're in a conversation with. This is a great example for people who make mistakes with addiction. When you're dealing with drug addicts and dealing with stuff, almost impossible not to make mistakes. Almost impossible not to say the right thing, not to end up in a fist fight, not to battle, not to say mean things, not to blame. It's very, very difficult. And so I want people to understand how this process works. I want you to understand how you have these times where they're slow, the slow times, the non-action times, just this time in our life, we're kind of living and existing and being. And it's just like that. There's me, and then there's this. And then all of a sudden there's the thing. Whatever that thing is, my work, cooking a meal, having a conversation with a loved one, battling in a relationship. And then it's shoot, and we're gone. There's no observing anymore. It's just doing. And you're gone. And it's just this basic, oh man, kind of autopilot takes over, and whatever you learned before that and whatever you were going to say is going to be said. And there's just this time where you're just not present. You're not there. And so in these times that we make these mistakes, I want you to know that we're not there to make them. That it's just not us, that we're gone. These times when we flub the kick, these times when we flub the hit, these times when we, think about cutting. You're cutting a carrot. All of a sudden, a mistake, boom, you cut your finger. You show back up. Oh, why did I do that? Why did I do that? And you blame yourself. Why did I do that? But where were you? You weren't even there. You just made a mistake, but you blame yourself. And that's the way everything works. See, but when we do everything good, it's almost like we were there. Do you see what I did? You see, I did that. A kicker walks out on the field. Yesterday was opening day, or Sunday was opening day of the NFL, and you watch these kickers go out. When they go to kick the ball, they're not there. Now, when it goes in or misses, that's when they show back up to assess how they did. But there's no presence in that. There's no, right when we're there, there's no he's not sitting there thinking, okay, I need to do this, watch yourself, do all this. No, it's just this thing that we do the thing. And that's kind of how we live our life. If you look at the process. So there's this time, peacetime. And at peacetime, it's very easy to observe yourself. It's very easy to assess. It's very easy to kind of judge other people. It's very easy to do all this stuff. And then there's the thing. I'm going to go have a conversation. I'm going to confront someone. I'm going to go play a sport. I'm going to go, work. Somebody's on a phone call at work and they're trying to do sales. Getting ready for work. I'm going to be good today. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And the phone call comes. Where'd you go? It's just boom, 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 reaction, talk. And then you hang up the phone. Oh, I should have said it like that. I should have did that, but you weren't there. So the practicality of forgiving ourselves. Why did I do that? And the answer is always going to be the same. I did that because I did that. That's the kind of core of how you get down to forgiveness. You start understanding the true process of how life works, how the human experience works. Understanding a car accident, you weren't even there. You didn't wake up until the car hit. You were gone. And then all of a sudden you go, oh man, why did I do that? You weren't there to do that. Why would you do that if you were there to do that? Why would you slam into the back of a car if you were there? You see? And so the way this thing works is that we have this peacetime. We have this easy time that we can observe ourselves. Now, then we have the thing. And then we have the assessment. And I want you to start learning now, some people can't get better. And do you know why? It's because during the assessment process, they always blame someone else. Or they're too hard on themselves. Both are bad reactions. So either I'm just kind of blaming myself and I'm hard about myself, but then I push it too far to the point of martyrdom. Then I push it too hard. I say, I just suck at everything. And I do that self-deprecating thing. And you see the people do that. Oh, I just give up. I just suck at everything. I'm never going to try again. I'm terrible. And then some people just blame other people. Somebody hits the ball out in tennis. That was on the line. I did it right. The refs screwed me. That guy did that, and that's what made me do that. So you can't get better. Responsibility isn't who fucked it up. That's not being responsible. Determining who screwed it up is not responsibility. That's blame. Responsibility is in the adjustments. Responsibility is what comes after the assessment. That's responsibility. I feel responsible, therefore, because it didn't go the way I'd like it to go, I will now make these adjustments. And I'm going to try to the best of my ability next time. But it might not go the way I want it to go. This conversation didn't go the way I wanted it to go. This game didn't go the way I wanted it to go. The thing with my boss didn't go. The relationship talk didn't go well. But the responsible party, the person who will improve, the person that will grow, will not self-deprecate, will not blame themselves. I did that because I did that. What's next? Now I make the adjustments. So responsibility is the person who is willing to make the adjustments. The person in the family who's willing to make the adjustments. The person in the family who's willing to say it differently, approach it differently, try to improve. It's not in the blame. It's not into determining who's at fault. And to be able to forgive yourself, you have to see this process. You have to understand that in your best times, when you did things perfectly, you weren't there. And in your worst times, when you screwed everything up, you also weren't there. And you didn't show up till the thing was done. And then the voice shows up. Oh man, why? That was so good. I was excellent tonight. Or the voice shows up. Oh man, why'd I do that? Man, I always do that. How come I'm so stupid? Forgiveness, forgive yourself. That's to understand this. I have to forgive myself because if I do a group and I don't like the way it goes, I just did the thing. I wasn't even there. And notice also that we forget all these things. When we're hard on ourselves and we say, oh, I should have done it that way. I should have done it this way. We forget. We forget what the current energy was like in the room. We forget what your momentum was like currently before you did the thing. We forget that the energy was riling you up or slowing you down, or that the energy of the room was building. And, somebody might raise their hand, and the energy gets them to say something, and they raise their hand and they say something stupid. You weren't even there. And so you have to remember that. You have to remember everything. You have to remember how the room smelled. You have to remember how things were going for you that day prior. You have to remember all that. And we don't remember that. And we couldn't have done it differently. Human beings can only do what occurs to them. That's it. And what occurs to us is really none of our business. It's really none of our creation. Oh, I should have said it like that. You couldn't have. It didn't occur to you to say it like that. I should have done that. You could have. It didn't occur to you to do that. I should have remembered my dog was in the car. It didn't occur to you. How could you have remembered? Even understanding, remembering, and forgetting. We don't forget. Forgetting happens to us. We do not forget. People mad at themselves for forgetting. God dang it, I forgot it. Why do I forget everything? I'm so stupid. You can't control whether you remember or forget. That's stupid. So now you can forgive yourself when you forget. You can forgive yourself when it doesn't occur to you. But that doesn't take away my responsibility. I don't blame after that. I make adjustments. Whatever adjustments I can see fit in the peacetime. Now I have this peacetime. Now I can contemplate. Now I can assess. Now I can see, what do I need to bolster up in me? What do I need to do better? How do I go into these conversations next time more calm? Do I remember what it looks like when I almost get in a fist fight? You remember? Don't do that again. Maybe it's not so cool. You remember what it feels like after you get all riled up and the energy takes me away and the parents see me as aggressive, or they see me as, angry or whatever. I wasn't there. I don't know. The energy got me right to the thing. I did the thing, and then the assessment came after. And I get to lay in bed and go, I shouldn't have done it like that. And how come I said it like that? And didn't occur to me at the time. I'm limited to what occurs to me. Maybe you're not. Maybe you have more freedom than I do. I don't have that kind of freedom. I have what my brain gives me. And so there you go. I can forgive myself. I can just move forward. Don't have to harp on it. So what? I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, and I never knew. So this week for me was about forgiveness for myself. And it's about, man, nobody ever told me how to practically do it. Let me take a look. Let me examine my life and let me look at and see what I got to do here. It's all here. Scuba. This is Scuba. It's self-contained. You can look and find everything you need inside here. Find certain answers, discover them, examine what you're looking for. See, picture, look back. But you watch in your best times. You're not there. When you say the coolest thing, when you say that really cool thing and everybody laughs, you weren't there. That just was said. It just came up. It just occurred to you and you just blah. You didn't think before you said it. You didn't assess before you said it. Just said it. And everyone laughed and you went, so funny. And you never thought about it again. But the same thing happens when you say that stupid thing. Same exact thing. And then you say the stupid thing and you go, what? I'm so stupid. Not. You're doing what occurs to you. And the best times that we're living. When we're living, we're not thinking. Imagine going down a ski slope. Imagine those guys going down that ski slope or snowboarding or anything. A guy catching a huge fish. Anything that's great. A guy doing a winning kick, hitting a home run, throwing a perfect pass, cutting a beautiful, you're cutting those vegetables. You're not there. You're not there. There is no thinking. There's your arm and the thing. Working, contracting, painting a wall. Then a mistake happens. Oh, why did I do that? You didn't do that. It did that. You're the thing assessing what it did. So we show back up. We go away. Beautiful. We're not there. And we do the thing. Now, if you want to get better and you want to improve, you can't blame. Oh, I screwed up last solution group last week because everyone was riling me up and everyone was there and they were really just, Angie didn't do this and they didn't do this and god dang Nico with the sound. Oh, it's just what it is. I look closer and I go, wait, the energy was like this. That's what was occurring to me. That's how it was. I forgive myself. I'm going to go ahead and move on. And I'm going to be responsible for it. And this week, I'm going to calm down. I'm going to make adjustments. And I'm going to try to bring it. See if I can win the crowd back over. Whatever it is. And that's in any aspect of our life. It's just this beautiful thing. Responsibilities in the adjustments. Responsibility isn't paying your mortgage. That's the thing you do so you have a home. Responsibility isn't in paying your cable bill. Responsible people always limit responsibility to being, I pay my bills. That is the lowest fundamental form of responsibility there is. Do you make adjustments in your family? Are you the one that believes that you have to change when things go wrong? That's responsibility. Do you go to work and when it's not going your way, when the company's not doing good, do you feel like you need to change? Or are you at home saying everyone at my job needs to change? Paying your bills is responsibility. That's ridiculous. That's what lets you sleep somewhere. That's what lets you drive a car, and that's how you watch TV. But a responsible person is responsible for the adjustments in their life when things aren't going well. And that's with everyone around them, every job, every place they work. A car accident, it might not be your fault. I might go out here and I pull out into the road and some maniac comes driving out the wrong way and hits me. That's not my fault. But what adjustments will I make so it never happens again? How will I prevent it? That's being responsible. And note that if I was driving out there, I'm listening to my music, I'm gone, I'm not even there, and then somebody hits me, and then there it is again. Oh, man. And now I got the assessment or I got the blame. What's going to happen here? So you see how it's showing up for you. Curb your rim. Oh. Oh.
When like the curbs are really high.
Yeah.
Grade the other part.
Yes. Jack in the Box. I gotta get through this little drive-through. I'm already fat enough. I gotta put my fat ass is trying to squeeze my car through these little things, and then I'm mad at I'm already mad at being a Jack in the Box. Secondly, it screwed up my rims. That's God telling me don't go to Jack in the Box. So you weren't there and you show up. So I think in the game of addiction and dealing with other people's addiction and the things that are said, the violence, and it might not be physical violence, but there's violence to this. It's a violent aggression. It's like all over you. And so parents can then forgive themselves, but make adjustments. And we can all forgive ourselves, but make adjustments. Prevent that from happening again if I make these adjustments. But it'll still go that way no matter what we're doing. You're gone when it goes good. When things are going really well, you're not even there. When you're saying all the right things, when you're making all the right moves, it's like a dance. Then you stub your toe. Why did you? Then you show back up. Or you go use drugs. You go use drugs, you're just gone. Completely gone. Oh, I got to get the drugs. I got to do this. That's all the brain's saying. Then you get the drugs. You do the drugs. Then the drugs wake up, and then you show back up. And that's the thing you're trying to get rid of. You. It's like we're doing everything to get rid of ourselves. Oh, what happens when you do drugs? Yeah, you go away. You go away. The drugs wear off and you show back up like an assessment. Oh man, you really screwed yourself. What do you mean you screwed yourself? That's you. Right? You really screwed up this time. Wait. You told me to go get the drugs. Well, you really screwed up. I don't know why you listen to me. What? My most famous one of that, I got a little road rage incident. I'm driving down Smith Hill. Me and two buddies were in high school, just driving down Smith Hill, and voice in my head just like, when we get to the light, get out and punch this motherfucker as hard as you can. Huh? Go, get him. So red light stops. Guy's with his wife. He's in a car. He gets out. She's driving. He gets out of the passenger seat. He stands there, and little Art goes running as fast as he can. And I drilled him as hard as I could. And he just looked at me. And then the voice in my head goes, oh, shit, you shouldn't have done that. And then he proceeded to pummel me and the other two friends, 1-on-3, until we all just got back in the truck. We didn't say a word to each other. We just kind of sat there and drove home and got drunk. Yeah. Good one, Art. But I wasn't there. You're not there until that assessment shows up, and then you're there. There it is. So I want you kind of note the whole process. This is the way that you can, I know you spoke in public. I know you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have done that. You're so embarrassed. You raised your hand and you said something and it didn't go well. You weren't there. Why would you do that? Why would you say something stupid if you meant to do it? You didn't mean to do it. You weren't even there. And then there's this judge showing back up. One time I did a big fart in gym in high school, junior high. Oh,
The one with the girls.
the girl was holding my feet. Oh my God. I wasn't even there. But I showed that. Why did you do that, Art? The whole school's gonna. Oh. And then when you do the good stuff in school, you like ask you, did you hear? They've never heard. But when you've done the bad stuff, they've all heard. They've already all heard. You just walk around. We heard, Art. We heard. Did you hear I got 100 on the test last month? No, we didn't hear that. We did hear you farted. Did you hear how much money I made on my paycheck? No. So I saw a lot of parents this week. I saw a lot of people doing and saying things, regret. That's stupid. Regret is really stupid. If you see it for what it is, I did what occurred to me. 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 Why did you do that? Because that's what occurred to me. Now, this isn't a way off of responsibility. The world's still going to hold you responsible. But you can forgive yourself.
You can't change what happened.
You can't change what happened. You see it. The stupid question that we've all faced time and time again. Why did you get high? Like we're going to have, like any of us have ever had the answer.
We try.
Yeah. And we always try. Well, they need to know why I got high. Shit. This has to matter. It's like, if it's a good reason, they'll forgive me. Nobody's ever came up with the proper reason to have them not mad. Why I got high? Well, see, Mom, it's a chemical issue. And I was lacking dopamine at the time and serotonin. And I could really tell from the inner levels of my serotonin and dopamine at that moment, it was a must. Whoa. Very intellectually sound, Johnny. Yeah. I'm now not going to beat your ass. You're trying to come up with the answer like it's going to save the ass beating. Come on, think, Art, think. Wait, too high to think. Fuck.
A random guy just came up to me and invoked me.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Oh,
You can deal with that by getting one.
oh, they need an answer now. The wife, why did you sleep with that other woman? Oh, shit. This is a lose-lose. There's no good answer here, but she needs one. Oh,
Not roofied.
yeah. Even drug addicts, we ask each other, why? Even though we've never found an answer, we still have to hear it too. Come on, man, why? Why? Well, that felt better than this. That's kind of sums it up. Have you ever tried fentanyl? Feels really good. Yeah, Mom, maybe you should try some. Maybe you could forgive me. Know how happy two people are that do fentanyl together? The hugs flow right away. They can hate each other. Yeah. Again, I think it's very, very important that people understand this. I understand it. I understand that in my greatest successes, I'm not there. In my greatest failures, I'm not there. Why would I fail on purpose? That's so stupid. Why would I say stupid things to people? That's so stupid. I would never want to do that. So it's so easy to get to that point of forgiveness when you understand how it works. There's nothing I could have done. It didn't occur to me to do it that way. And at the most extreme cases, Asking a man why he left his kid in the car and forgot it while the kid burned up in the sun. Why did you do that? It didn't occur to him that his kid was in there. Don't you understand the way the human experience works? And we so desperately don't understand the way the human experience works that we want to punish that person as if they're ever going to forgive themselves, as if their own punishment isn't enough. We want to hammer down on them and say, why did you forget your kid in there? Why do you forget things? You ever leave somebody burns their house down, leaves the coffee pot on? It didn't occur to them to shut it off, or for sure they would have.
Yeah.
So you learn how it works. Each one of you, there was a time it didn't occur to you. Maybe it did occur to you to say no to drugs the first time, but something came after that. Something came after that. And the final decision was made by the mind. And the mind said, you can do it. Go ahead. And for people that don't do drugs, it was just the opposite. The mind finalized on no. They got out of the car. But what was done differently? Nothing. It was just what occurred to that person, and then what occurred to that person, and what occurred to that person. What's that based on? I don't know. Preparation, maybe?
So many things. It could be
Yeah.
a guy you like in the car that one time.
That's
It could
right.
be- there's so many
Could be a
things.
young girl that wants the attention of a man. Could be a young boy that's too agreeable. Could be one guy in the car that just wants to feel good.
You know,
So-
there was this for our lunch line in high school. It was right. You see it every time you were in line to go get your tray and everything. It's up there and there was this poster, and it says, "Don't mess around." You know, it's like I remember it stuck with me, but like, what? I don't know what they're trying to do because you know the first time that I was off of meth, I didn't go, no, you know what? No, dude, I don't mess around. I was like, okay, I want to try that.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to mess around a little bit. Yeah,
Let me try to mess around.
yeah. It's like they might as well just put up a sign that says "Do math."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the word that's clear. I recognize that word.
Yes. We don't know why. We don't know why certain things occur to us and certain things don't. Might be environmental. Like I said, maybe environmental, maybe our parents, the way we were raised. Or maybe it's coming in minute by minute and we're just a game piece for somebody on a different planet. Maybe somebody's controlling us by hitting B really fast. Make this kid do drugs. B, 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 B. Yes. Yeah.
Or just sins.
Yeah. So I think it's very important for success or for happiness or movement or progress that we instantaneously can get to a point where we can accept what we did because we weren't there. Not use that as an excuse. Just make adjustments. But now some people might use it as an excuse and then use that as an excuse to not make adjustments. Say, well, I wasn't there. That's not how this works. The world thinks you were there. The world's going to hold you responsible. Do you want people mad at you all the time? Do you want to look stupid? No. Okay, you're going to need to make adjustments. You're going to need to evolve, progress. And you can make those adjustments during peacetime, preparation, with yourself, examining. There's one thing that eliminates all those adjustments, and that's blame. Victimhood. Every victim we know, they cannot get better because they cannot make adjustments because nothing's their fault. So you see it. People who don't get better don't make adjustments. We can open up early tonight, Ange. It's pretty calm here. Everyone's pretty chill. We got a good little, maybe you guys want to talk. Maybe you guys got questions.
So yeah, we'll open it up, and if there's anybody out there that's on Zoom that has any questions, comments, you new people, we'd love to say hi. All you do is use the raise your hand feature on your device. I'll raise my hand here so you can see. And if you can't figure out that feature, you can get my attention somehow and mute yourself, something like that, and I will find you. So we'd love to meet y'all. So it looks like Angie has a question. Let's see here. Hi, Angie.
Hey,
Hi there.
you were talking about to forgive yourself. I can't do that. I've been clean since April 9th, 2020, 2 years and something. I ruined both of my kids' lives. I worried about a man and drugs over my kids. Let my kids live in my apartment with hardly no food. They were without mom. And mom said, you know, I promise I'll do this and this and this. But I never did. I left them in my apartment by themselves, taking care of themselves. My daughter, she's 22, got married at the age of 17. I think she got married because
Jesus.
mommy wasn't there to love her and support her. And I can keep talking about this, but how can I forgive myself for what I done to both of my kids and my addiction? I don't understand that part. I can't.
Investments are you making? Not hear us? Yeah.
We might-
Can you hear me, Angie?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we lost her.
Yeah, I can hear.
So did you listen to the talk, Angie?
A little bit. I wrote down some stuff too, but I'm still not forgiving myself.
Okay. Well, the topic.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can.
We couldn't hear that, Art. What'd you say?
I said this is called a solution group. And it's important that people realize that. It's not a problem group. And so, first thing would be to listen to the information and see if it helps you.
It is.
We'll start there next time.
Okay. Thank you.
But listen, maybe you got to replay the talk, Ange, because I was talking straight to you. So I'm talking to anyone who can't forgive themselves. That's the whole point of the
It
group.
hurts. It hurts.
Well, if this was a financial conversation, I told you exactly what to do to make money, and then you told me you can't make money, I would be mystified because I'm telling you exactly what to do. Maybe you just need to look, examine your life. You weren't there when you did those things. You were gone. You just weren't there. And now you're back and you're assessing what you did. Perfect example of what we're talking about. But if she would note in her life, she wasn't assessing as she was going. She was rationalizing as she was going. So as she was going, these things were getting rationalized. Things that we all did. And that's how addiction works. We rationalize our way into a situation, and when we finally wake up, we assess all of the shit we did. But in that time, she wasn't there. There was just her in the rationalization system. Now she's talking today. Oh, Look what I did.
But it's almost with that martyrdom.
That's what it, and like I said, people have two directions that they're going to go when this assessment hits. They're either going to be self-deprecating and continue to blame and be a victim of themselves, knock themselves and be harder on themselves. I call it the Eminem. If you've ever watched the Eminem movie, he says all the things to the guy so the guy can't say it to him. So if we can be hard enough on ourselves, if we can tell people that we're bad and we're so bad and we're so bad and I'm so bad, well, then we can kind of defense mechanism for other people to back off. Seeing all the time. Saw it today with a kid who left to get high, and then I seen the text after. I'm so stupid. I should just end it, on and on and on. That's a good strategy to get people to, oh, stop. Stop. You're not stupid. Don't end it. Solid strategy. I say how bad I am so nobody else can say it. But it's not useful. There's no use in it. It doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't get you closer to happiness. It doesn't get you closer to sobriety. It doesn't get you to freedom. Just stuck in the mud. And any mother that's done anything to their kids, all anyone in the world wants to see is the adjustments. That's it. That's all any kid wants to see is the adjustments. Even the kids will forgive their parents if the adjustments are being made. It's the only thing the world wants from us is the adjustments. They want to see we're taking responsibility. Yeah, I did that. This is what I do now. I've forgiven that person back then. I can speak about that person like it's not even me because it isn't. That wasn't you, Lindsay. It wasn't you. You didn't lose your kids, the drugs did. Those took you. You weren't even there. You didn't show back up until the drugs wore off. Responsibility is in the adjustments. Check it out. It ain't in the blame, and it ain't in the blame. So what? You blame yourself. So what? Nobody cares. They care if you truly blame yourself, make the adjustments. But if you don't really blame yourself, then you just sit in the self-deprecating sludge and don't make the adjustments. And then you get high. And that's a lonely, shitty place to be. And just think when you haven't forgiven yourself, that energy that you are, that downtrodden, poor me stuff. It's all good. Why'd you do that? Because I did that. And when I'm making the adjustments, I can look people in the eye and say, hell yeah, I did that. And here's what I'm doing now. But when I'm not making any adjustments, oh, I did that. What do you do now? I watch a lot of TV. I like my blinds closed most of the day. Forgive yourself and get up, open the blinds. Wow. If you've lost your kid, you did that. You did your best. Imagine the fight that a mother is that loses their kid. Every fight, everything that they do. And what's the difference between, I used to get so frustrated when people told me that they were a cancer survivor. Because my mom was dying of cancer, and I used to see on the TV somebody boast about being a cancer survivor. And I thought, what are they doing different than my mom? How are you so cool that you're a survivor? You just had a different type of cancer. My mom's sitting here doing everything suggested of her, going to every appointment, battling through, soldiering on, stuffing food down her mouth when she couldn't eat, getting sleep and rest, taking every medication, not missing a doctor's appointment. And the guy gets on, he goes, I'm a cancer survivor. You didn't do anything. Nothing different than the people that died. And that's the exact same thing with the families that lost compared to the families their kids are in treatment. You didn't do anything because your kid's in treatment. You did the same thing as the person who lost did. Now there's adjustments to be made. And we don't want people to say, I don't do anything. We want to say, you're going to do your best, just like the people who did that lost. You do your best. They did their best. We seem to cheer as a society when the outcomes are good. We do what occurs to us. Sometimes we're very fortunate and the outcomes are good. And then we do what occurs to us, and sometimes we're unfortunate and the outcomes are bad. Understanding this is forgiveness. I did what occurred to me at the time. I couldn't have done anything else because it didn't occur to me. And then they'll go, what about when you're sitting there and it occurs to you that you could do the good thing, and then but you do the bad thing? What came last? What decision did the mind finally finalize on? You shouldn't go there. You shouldn't go do that, but you need to do that. Well, you could go do that, but just do it once. Nobody will know. Just go try it once. Okay, yes, I can go. You shouldn't call in sick. I've been going every day. I've went 3 years in a row. I've never used any of my sick day. And you lay in bed and the mind oscillates and the mind goes back and forth. And if the mind comes up with the proper rationalization, you call in sick. If the mind doesn't, you throw the covers off and you go, shit, I gotta go. Mm-hmm. You're not there. The mind is doing its thing. Find the control room. Show me where it is. If you're doing it, why is there rationalization?
Your question.
Yeah, why would you do that? It's there because the mind wants pleasure and doesn't want pain. Mind wants easy and the mind doesn't want hard. Donut, salad, donut, salad, donut, salad, donut, salad. I go salad, 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 salad. I can't figure out why that one day it just went donut. Chicken, broccoli, chicken, broccoli, chicken, broccoli. Ooh. Oh, I'm tired. Burger, fries. You've done really well. You're down 4 pounds. You're looking better. Healthy. You'll just do 1 burger and 1 fry and then call it good and you get back on your shit tomorrow.
Yep.
Sorry.
And then it's, well, I already did that. I might as well do it again.
Can't hear you again.
Oh, God. Did they say you can't hear? I don't know. Are we good? We good on
I
sound?
didn't hear you.
Oh, you didn't hear? Oh, I just said, well, then you have the ice cream one time and you're like, well, I already had a bowl of ice cream. I might as well just keep going then.
That's right.
All right. Who else out there? We got 30 minutes left. Let me take this opportunity real quick before anybody raises their hand, just about the auction. So the auction is coming up. We've got 6 weeks left till our auction. We're pretty excited that we get to have one again because it's been 2 years that we haven't been able to have one because of COVID. So this will be our 5th annual dinner auction, and we just really need everybody's help out there. So number one, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, get your tickets. You can do so on our website, battlefieldaddiction.com, click on events, then auction. So secure your tickets for sure. And then number two, Art had a really good idea last week when we had a little meeting. He said, so why don't we do like Oprah's favorite things, and X amount of people choose to create their favorite things basket. And so like Kristen's favorite things, Sherry's favorite things, Denise's favorite things, Angie's favorite things, Art's favorite things. Art's already got a list going, I know. And I know Sherry's already getting her basket going too of Sherry's favorite things. So if you're willing to put your own basket together, whether or not it's in a literal basket or you just hand it over in a bag, all the things in a bag or a box, and we can make it all pretty and cool. If you're willing to do that, we'd sure love it. So just kind of think about, what do you love to shop for? And you can pick your theme and then go out there and do some shopping and create a basket. We are collecting donations by September 28th, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow. We have a group coaching session that night in person. So that's a great opportunity for you. If you're coming to the group coaching, you can bring your items that night. And then if you're not coming to group coaching or you live far away or anything like that, we can arrange otherwise. So like we've got different drop points. So like we have a couple people who have donated some items up north that are dropping off their items with Melinda because she lives up in Arlington. And then we've got different drop points depending on where you're at. So we need all donations by September 28th, please. And then we can kind of take a look at what we've got, but we're definitely looking for more. If y'all can help us out, that'd be great. Or what company, what business do you frequent that you can ask for a donation to Battlefield? We are a nonprofit organization. So any donations are fully tax write-offable, including your own. Sherry's basket, including that. Anything you gather, you can keep the receipt. You get a tax donation receipt on that too. So we could just really use everybody's help for this final push for the last 6 weeks. So we have lots of cool items. So we have some fun bidding wars that night. So because that's what we need. We need to raise funds, and so that is that. So Sherry, let's go over to you. Hey, we get you unmuted.
Okay, can you hear me? We're on a different TV computer setup at the moment, so.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. So my question's for Art on the assessment, and when you're going through and doing your adjustment, what do you do when you over adjust, right? Like if you over index and kind of overcorrect, think about like, you're driving down the road and you correct or overcorrect, right? So how do you kind of like reset? Is that just another assessment and adjust again? Is that what that looks like?
Did we lose him?
Oh,
Sorry. He might not have heard your question. We still have the picture up, guys. Where'd you guys go?
Nico's got to pull it together, man.
Oh, there we go.
Not making
Did you
this
hear-
assessment every week.
Could you hear Sherry?
Yeah. Nico's not really even assessing himself afterwards or making an adjustment, so we're going to talk to him. I think the important part is not the results. Again, I don't think there's any importance in results. I think it's in the process. I think a responsible, happy person does this. I think we all do this process, and I think if the mind of you assesses itself and doesn't blame other people, there's no way to not improve. And I don't think that it's results that we're looking for. We're looking for forgiveness. We're looking to move on. We're looking to evolve. And results mean nothing. And they just don't. You can measure something, but I don't think anybody cares that much about the results, because we're not normally talking about whether we got the outcome we wanted or not. If I get really kind of violent with somebody, or I get handsy, or I get upset and I want to fight somebody because of addiction, maybe the outcome is that I want them to currently go away from me. And I can get that outcome by being handsy and by pushing them away and by being a dick, and I can do that. So it's not in the outcome that I'm mad at. That I'm not forgiving myself. It's in how I got there. It's in the person I was in getting that outcome. And so I don't think we're talking, when we don't forgive ourselves, I don't think we're forgiving. We're not talking about outcomes. We don't forgive ourselves for the way we were in chasing that outcome. We don't forgive ourselves for, how we talk to people or what we said. Those are the things that are tough, when we say mean things. And so I don't know. for me, yeah, outcomes always seem to be where people want to go, but to me, it's about the person I am. The embarrassment is just when I'm not lining up with the person I want to be. I'm never embarrassed because I didn't get the proper outcome. I'm embarrassed because the behavior that I exhibited didn't line up with who I want to be. Now, if you're talking about sports or you're talking about that kind of thing, of course, those adjustments need to be made and outcomes will be measured, and that's how we'll measure whether we're progressing and all that. But for this talk, I'm mainly talking about just life, just who I am as a person. When I'm not there and I'm losing it and I'm not watching myself and I just say and do dumb shit, the energy takes me away and just not. So yeah, but of course there's always going to be the world measuring the outcomes and us looking at outcomes, and you're going to overcorrect and not do enough, and then that's going to tell you how you need to correct less, and that's all there. And a responsible, successful person will always be assessing again. So that's the whole point. Go back in, do it again, fail, assess, fail, assess. It's the whole point. But then there's the big stuff. I've lost my kids. I've lost my family. I've screwed up this person. I messed up this relationship. It's the same stuff, same thing, same process. It's just big. And that's the stuff I really want. And parents going in and saying, hey, it's not the outcome you get, whether your kid went to treatment that time when you talked to them or didn't. It's how you feel after. It's whether you said, I hate you. It's whether you were calm enough to keep it together. There's tons of times I don't get the right outcome. And that doesn't ever bother me. It's when I get the outcome, but I did it so shitty, I hated it. That's what I don't like.
All right, we've still got 20 minutes. Who else? Who haven't we met out there? We'd love to say hi if you're willing to turn your camera on. I understand new people sometimes just want to sit back and listen. And that's okay too.
I got this guy Gage that lives here, Ange.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Gage. And Gage, he does whatever we ask, and he serves everyone here. And he never gets very disgruntled, or he never gets unhappy, and he serves and he helps, and he's quit drinking for how long now, Gage?
3.5 months.
He's quit drinking and been sober for 3.5 months, and he spends his nights making sure other people are doing what they're supposed to do and be safety. And maybe some of you could use a Gage at your house, because he's one of my favorite things. So he'll be in the basket. There'll be a little Gage. Maybe I'll even put a little Kyle Munkers in there, and a Lindsay and Barkley. They'll all be in the basket. You can have it all for a day. Everything in your house, your dishes will get taken
A little
care
coupon
of.
book. You can make a little coupon book. Gage for a day.
Oh,
Lynn's
Travis
for a
is
day.
one of my favorite things too.
Yes,
is one of my
Travis for a
favorite things. You
day.
can have him
Oh
for
no,
a day.
we'll get Travis.
Scott Hankemeyer is one of my favorite things. The guy just put together the Blackstone Grill in a couple hours today.
Oh, nice.
That's one of my favorite things. He was trimming up the trees today. I got a lot of favorite things.
Which the rebuild crew is going to be doing something pretty
One
cool.
of my favorite things. Yeah.
What's that?
I said Angie's one of my favorite
Oh.
things. Nobody can have. I'm not putting her in the
Not
basket. No. You can have Barkley for a day though. One day.
It's going to be so fun. It's going to be great. I loved that idea, Art. I think it's going to make it really fun. Because then we could also, those of us putting together our favorite thing basket, we could put a little note in there and explain some things. I don't know.
I want my basket to go in the live auction.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm gonna put it. Yeah.
So you're going to have some big stuff in there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't know for sure,
gonna
but
be a
some of my
fun-
favorite things are in Vegas.
It's going to be a fun night. You got to be there. Now there is limited seating, so you do want to get your ticket. We're in a smaller venue than we have been in the past. And then, by the way, if you need any of these awesome posters to hang up in your town, we've still got some of these left. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 20 left at the Kent House. So yeah, they're pretty cool.
Ask or discuss questions.
Questions out there? Anybody?
Such a good.
Oh,
teacher.
we are taking next week off, by the way. If you are on our text reminder list, then you'll get notified of things like that when we have changes and we take weeks off or whatever. If you're not on our text reminder list, you're going to want to subscribe to that. And it's super easy to do. All you do is just go to our website and just scroll all the way down to where you see text lists, subscribe. There's an email, subscribe, and then there's a text list, subscribe. There's two different things, two different points, two different intentions. So make sure you get on our text reminder list. If you received a text today reminding you about tonight, you're on that list. If you didn't, you're not on that list. So be sure and get on that list. But no solution group next week. Taking a little break for Art so he can prepare for fun little break. Little couple
So
day
I'm
break.
okay with just closing it up, Ange.
Okay, that sounds good.
Shutting it down. But I'll just close with, I wanted to give this talk because I think it's useful. And I think forgiving ourselves and forgetting others is very useful. And this is also an antidote to forgiving others. Why did they do that? Because they did that. They did what occurred to them. That's what they were going. It's like this collision. It's like our thoughts are occurring from behind, from somewhere. We're limited to doing what those thoughts say, and their thoughts are occurring from behind them, and they're limited to doing what those thoughts, and then we collide. And we meet and we do what occurs to us. And whether I throw the ball at you and you catch it or not is only limited to whether it occurs to you or not. Whether you can play piano or not is limited to whether it occurs to you or not. Whether you can fix a car is limited to whether it occurs to you or not. Whether you're good at something or bad at something or remembering or forgetting, it's all out of your control. The adjustments now, there it is. The responsibilities and the adjustments. And so there is no use in that time where you're assessing yourself with blame. Whether you're blaming others or blaming yourself, there's no use in it. It doesn't work. It's not workable. So you get to the point where you go, I assess myself only for the portion of time that it takes to make the proper adjustments. And as a responsible, successful person, my mind stays on the adjustments until I do the thing. And then I do the thing. If I go play poker tonight, I'll play. And at times when I make a mistake, I'm not there. And then I lose money. And then after I lose the money, I go, why did I do that? And then when I win big pots, I'm not there either. And then I'm happy with myself when I won. But the thing is I go home, and whether I win or lose, I don't take credit. I don't say I'm great when I win and I'm terrible when I lose. I just look at the adjustments. I don't blame the other players. I don't blame luck. I don't do any of that. I get in my car and I go, I did what I did. Now what? That is forgiveness. That's how you forgive yourself. That's practical, useful. Give you a huge advantage on the people running around sulking in what they did. Give you a huge advantage on people that don't forgive other people. Forgiveness is light. It feels good. It's useful. I love it. I love forgiving people. Let me see how many people I can forgive, because it lightens me and it makes me bigger and it expands. And I love it. Do something to me. I will forgive you. I promise. I promise. I won't hold it. That's for me, because holding it is not useful. And I do the same thing with myself. So all you parents who said it wrong and did it wrong and yelled at your kids and said, I hate you, and they said, I hate you, and all that kind of stuff, let it go. You did what you did. What adjustments are you going to make today? If you've relapsed, Me yelling at you is not going to help. Let it go. Be responsible for the relapse. Make the adjustment. Don't blame. Oh, I got high because that. No, that's not useful. You did what you did. Now what? So I hope that helps. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you.
All right. Good night, everybody. Have a great week.